Hi there, I'm Christine Dunbar from speechmodification.com, and this is my Smart American Accent training. In this video, we'll look at the words are and aren't, both for basic pronunciation and how we use these in fluent speech. So when we look at are and aren't, it seems like the most obvious difference is that aren't has the n and t sounds. And if I'm just saying we are, we aren't, then I am going to be saying those nt sounds in aren't. But in real speech, in connected speech, we aren't really saying the n and the t. So it might be difficult to hear the difference between are and aren't. We also don't really use the word are in its full are form unless we're stressing on it. So in a phrase like we are there, I'm either reducing this are to more we are there, which is basically this contraction, we are there, or I'm using the contraction we're there and my we're gets further reduced to more of just a were. So most of the time the R can get reduced more to an or it gets contracted, we're there, etc. Unless I'm saying we are and I'm stressing on it, then I'm going to have my full R sound. Otherwise it's often reduced. So you're not going to hear in real connected speech we are there. You won't hear that R. So that's one way to tell if you're hearing are or aren't, is that if you hear we're there, either we're or we're there, you know that that is are versus aren't. If I'm saying we aren't there, the most natural way that native speakers use this is that they will use an unreleased T. So basically what that means is that my T, you won't hear it. I do stop the air for it, but it doesn't release. Not aren't, but aren't. And so therefore my N sound is very short. So it kind of sounds like aren't. So you don't hear that T, but you hear the stopping of the air. So we aren't there. And so that you hear the clear R versus we're there. I'm not hearing any R sound, any ah of the R sound. I'm hearing we're there. This sounds kind of like we're there. We aren't there. I can still hear the we are. I can still hear the first part of the R. I just hear my short N and my unreleased T. We aren't there yet. Or we're there. We're becomes more were. So these are the ways we use this in fluent speech. If you're going for just the basics, we are, we aren't, you can say the N and the T sound clearly. We aren't, we are. But when you're speaking, you're not likely to say we aren't happy, we aren't going, we aren't with you. It'll sound very unnatural and not fluent. You're going to use that unreleased T and that short N. We aren't there, we aren't happy, we aren't going, we aren't with you. So once you can say that, you do want to try practicing it with a lot of different verbs in a lot of different contexts. You can use it with they as well. They aren't happy, they aren't leaving yet, they aren't too busy, they are happy. So if I'm stressing on it, they aren't happy, they are happy, then I'm trying to use a changed meaning to show no, they are happy, or they're happy, they're good, etc. If you need more help for contractions like how we're becomes were and there becomes there, or just using contractions in general, check out my videos for contractions and our Real Talk playlist where we break down the written words versus the spoken speech. If you need more practice for are and aren't, you can use the ideas I presented in this video. You can also look at, I do have some videos for how we use that reduced R in connected speech as well. Thanks so much for watching this video and for your comments, requests, and suggestions. You can leave suggestions for what you'd like to see me cover in our Word of the Day playlist. Also, if you have questions about how we actually pronounce words, so that kind of real talk element, how we link and reduce, you can check those out on our Real Talk playlist and also in our Real Talk course on speechmodification.com. I walk you through that linking and how to get that fluent sound, some of that more advanced American accent that you've been looking for. I will be back again tomorrow with another word of the day, and on Saturday we'll have our live question and answer class. So feel free to attend to ask your questions live, or leave me a comment or a request or question in the comments below. Thanks so much, everyone. I appreciate your support. It's great to see you here each day in our Word of the Day series. I'm Christine Dunbar from speechmodification.com. Remember, if you want to sound like a native speaker, you can do it. speechmodification.com. Bye, everyone. Hope to see you.